Hi, this is Jason with MathTutorDVD.com. Today we're going to use the TI-89 calculator and learn about its abilities to do complex arithmetic. And by that I mean arithmetic involving I, the imaginary number I. So when you're doing calculations that have a real part and an imaginary part, this calculator can handle it no problem, and it's actually a huge time saver because when you get in advanced math and engineering, you're pretty much dealing with complex numbers all the time. So it really simplifies your life. Now, the first thing you need to think about anytime you talk about whether you're dealing with a complex number is, are you going to be talking about doing it in rectangular form or polar form? And that really just depends on the problem. So the calculator can do both. Rectangular form, of course, is, real plus imaginary part, a plus bi. And polar form is magnitude times e raised to the power of I times an angle. So in other words, rectangular is sort of like a real and imaginary part in terms of coordinates, and the other guy, polar, is a magnitude and an angle. So should be familiar stuff to you guys if you know a little bit about complex numbers. What we need to do first is go in the mode menu and look down here. It says complex format. Right now it says real. And that means that it's not going to really display complex numbers at all. It's just going to give us real answers. So if you're in basic algebra or something, leaving it in real is just fine. But for those of you guys who get up in advanced calculus and even advanced algebra and certainly any level of engineering, you're pretty much never going to want to leave your calculator in real mode. You'll come down and leave it in rectangular or polar, and it really just depends on what you're doing. So let's leave it in rectangular for now, and let's set the calculator to rectangular. How do you enter a complex number in this calculator? Well, if you wanted to enter the number 2 plus 3i, you would say 2 plus 3, and I is right up here, second function on the catalog button. So you enter it literally like you think, 2 plus 3i. You don't have to put a multiplication symbol in here or anything like that. If I just stick it in there, the calculator is going to return it to me, so you know that it really does interpret this as 3 times I. So the real part of this number is the 2, and the imaginary part is the 3, and that's what that means. So you can enter any complex number you want. If you're going to do 2 minus 5i, you would enter it, like that. Now, if you wanted to do arithmetic with these numbers, it's very, very easy to do. You don't really have to do anything in specific or anything special. So let's go ahead and wrap this 1 minus 5i up into a parenthesis, and let's multiply it times something else, 4 plus 2i, let's say. Now, if you were doing this by hand, you would have to multiply term by term, and then you would have to know that I squared is equal to -1, and you would simplify